Da-na-na-na-na. It might just be time for a little versus battle. And this is
Hmm.
kind of a heated discussion between myself and that dude with the beard, along with plenty of NFL fan bases. And it's become a little bit more hot of a topic based off this last postseason game. So let's get into it, folks. That dude with a beard, please present it.
We have the Prince of the AFC, anointed fully. Can't be the king because we know who the king is. But he was promised to us there was going to be a prince, a guy who would one day rise up these NFL ranks and to show dominance in the South. We got my boy, the infamous, the undeniable Trevor Lawrence, and he's going against a guy who's just a guy, in my opinion. Maybe you want to introduce him before I just, take him down to where he belongs, which is a few
Well, well,
pegs, which is a few
well,
pegs.
folks. If you did not know who he is facing second quarterback, entire AFC West, the Justin Herbert,
That's
the
easy to do.
legend, the myth, uh, guy to bring back
You know what? The best thing you said in that sentence was
ball
myth, because he is a
to
lie.
LA.
Oh, you
The
cut out
draft
there.
phenom, the next to be paid. Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
You said the next to be paid. Yeah, he's
The
gonna be
next
paid
to
next.
be paid.
He ain't gonna get that much money.
Und- they're not even questioning it. They're ready to open up the checkbook, something like the Prince won't never see. That,
What?
sir, is Justin Herbert
Please.
himself.
The best accolade you
Nation, phenom.
please. Phenom. This dude is not the Undertaker. What are you talking about? He talking like he the Undertaker. Please. This is Justin Herbert we talking about. Let's boil this thing down here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I think you were saying something, Mr. Casey. It kind of froze you there.
No, you're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Talking
I
about
was
him
just
for
I was just
oh,
flabbergasted. I was at a
I'm
loss for words at the
flabbergasted.
denial of the
I'm at
greatness
a loss
of
for
Justin
words,
Herbert. Blown away.
ladies and
I can't even
gentlemen.
believe this is
This
actually a discussion.
he's not. I can't even believe it is either because he's not even great yet. I told you a couple years down the road he'll finally make it to my top five. I'm on record saying that. It ain't a couple
Mm.
years down the road yet. Justin Herbert, the best thing you said about him, before I kind of cut you off, I heard myth, and maybe it should have stopped you there because that's everything Justin Herbert is. He's a myth.
Mm.
He's more like, what are we talking about here? Let's go with the facts about Trevor
Mythical.
Lawrence.
Mythical like a Greek goddess. Or
Let's
Greek god,
talk
I guess
about
he's
Trevor.
long
Yeah, because
hair
he's
gets a
pretty
little
soft,
confusing.
so he's probably is a goddess. Um,
Soft. Soft.
yeah, he's
Hold on.
soft.
Soft.
He's
We all seen
soft.
that Kansas City game
He's
where
soft.
Kansas City absolutely destroyed that man's ribs. He
Yeah,
got back up.
right.
He stood up
Paper
like one of them
mache.
Rocky movies and
Uh
continued
huh.
fighting Apollo Creed as much as he could.
Look, he can fight Ivan Drago all he want. He still lost, and he just left hurt. Hurt feelings, hurt
That game.
body. Hurt feelings, hurt body. That's all I'm hearing.
Now,
What
now,
happened? What
now,
happened when
let's
they
talk
played the
about
Jets?
another.
Yeah, what we ain't even got to dive in yet. This is preliminary. It seems like we're just arguing at this point. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because
let
you clearly have forgotten the golden rule when it comes to quarterback comparisons.
what is that?
That's the Pat Mahomes test. The Pat Mahomes test.
Okay. 'Cause- 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 'c
Is
No,
that on your resume? Is that
it's
out? Is
not.
that on your resume, Prince?
Mm-hmm. It's not. It sure isn't.
It's not. Not.
No.
Well,
Mm-mm.
guess what? Justin Herbert's done it. No, no, wait. Hold on. Stop, folks. It's a buy one, get one free sale. Not only has Justin Herbert managed to beat Pat Mahomes, he's done it twice, which puts him in a category with elite greatness, such as Tom Brady and that other guy, Joey Burrows, which is top tier elite quarterback play, something that you won't find out of Trevor Lawrence, even if we lowered the bar down to one. Just one
Man,
time.
it's mighty strange you said that because the same guy, I guess, who beat Pat Mahomes twice, Trevor Lawrence beat twice in one season. Hmm.
Fluky.
And on the
Lucky.
biggest
No,
stage, and on the biggest stage that this guy who beat Pat Mahomes twice, the only time he's ever made it to the playoffs, what happened to him? Can you regale us? I don't think the folks know at home. What happened when Justin Herbert finally got to the playoffs, Mr. KC? What
the,
happened?
what
What
he did
happened?
was
What happened when he finally got to the playoffs?
he put up such an electric 27-0 performance that he actually thought the game was over. He
Uh huh.
thought he played so much we're in that day and age where we
Did
grew
they
up
only
in
score
Madden.
27?
Uh, Yeah, it was 27-0. We
Oh,
score
and
we
then
in
uh
that
huh.
in the game of Madden, once you score 21-0,
This is all
most
conjecture,
people call
ladies
it
and
a
gentlemen.
game.
You just got to let
You
them
you
do it.
you know 27-0. He was confused about the rules. He thought it was forfeiture and that the game no longer continued. That's what happened. It was 27-0. He absolutely
So,
destroyed Trevor Lawrence 27-0 in the first half.
so not only are you saying that he's only a competent quarterback for half the game, uh, you're saying that he's so terrible at his job that he doesn't know that they're still playing. That's what I'm hearing. Man, Justin
Oh,
Herbert.
well.
My kudos to you, man. My hat's off to you. Golly, cheers to you, man. Bully for you, my man. Well, I don't know if they got him some smelling salt after the game because he probably was. He probably just came out of like, hold on, it was just 27-0. What it's the end of the game. Hold on, we're going home. What happened? You want
It
to know
was
what happened?
confusing.
You want to know what happened? Hey, and speaking of Patrick, a Patrick Mahomes esque comeback happened. We're talking
I got
five
it.
straight touchdowns that happened.
And does Herbert give up 5 touchdowns, or does the
Yeah, because
defense give up
like
five
you just
touchdowns?
said, because Herbert absolutely destroyed him for 27. Your words
It
verbatim.
was
So
it was
so
20.
Justin Herbert got let's say ramrodded. Let's make it sound even worse. Ramrodded in the second half by the Prince. The carriage was out. The coronators was coronating. The jesters were jesting, and the Prince came out and regaled the crowd and gave a performance unlike any other in a playoff game, unless your
I
name is
see.
Patrick Mahomes.
See, I think we're really just going off recency bias based off
Recency,
this.
but Trevor Lawrence already played one season. The Urban Meyer season don't count. Everybody knows that.
Oh, the Urban
Justin
Meyer season
doesn't
has
count. It
it
doesn't
ha,
count.
it
And
should
okay,
almost
if
count
that even if it does, his resume is still better than Justin Herbert. He's done more with less. Tell me
with
any
less.
tell me any skill player position in Jacksonville.
Well, it's Jacksonville. You can't blame.
Okay, then. So you mean to tell me that you don't think Trevor Lawrence in LA with the team that Justin Herbert have would not have only been to the playoffs probably every year, but maybe even beyond the first round?
Well, I
Get out
can't
of here.
guarantee playoffs every year. He has MVP
More with
in the playoff.
less.
Yeah. You see, my problem is I just you were really kind of using the excuse of more or less, but Jacksonville's had all the first round draft picks in the
You're
top
talking
10
about
for the
stuff
last
before
decade.
Trevor Lawrence, before he even got there. We're talking about now.
As he continues
'Cause
there, it
we're
will
talking
happen
about now.
again. It
They
will
haven't had
happen
they
again.
haven't had a high first round pick in 2 years. You want to know why? Because they went and got Trevor Lawrence.
True. It has not happened yet, but it will happen again under the Prince's era.
It won't. And you know another reason why? Trevor Lawrence, the South is officially his. Justin Herbert can't say any place is his. He plays in Arrowhead
The
West.
South.
He
The
plays in Arrowhead
South.
West. What do you?
We're bragging
What
about
is
the
what
AFC
is Herbert?
South.
What does Justin Herbert have?
The same chances of winning the West as Trevor Lawrence would. You
No,
think if Trevor
what?
Lawrence,
Are you kidding
you,
me?
you think Trevor Lawrence and the Chargers is winning the AFC West? No,
No, they will
he can
never.
win the
That's what I'm saying.
South.
No, he can't because he don't play in the South. If he played in the South,
Anybody
this
could
would
have
be
won the South.
no,
Tannehill
no.
almost won the South.
That's why we know anybody couldn't do
The
it because the
the
Prince did it.
the whoever was playing for
They
the
squandered
Carolina
it. They
Panthers,
squandered it, and that was it.
the Tennessee Titans could have won the South.
That's what I'm saying,
But
but they didn't.
it's an open.
So
It's a,
what they mean? Of course, you sound like mainstream media. Anybody could have won the AFC West. It's the
no,
Broncos.
no,
It's the
no,
Chargers. It's
no.
it's the it's the Raiders.
The Chargers,
Everybody but
no, that's the
Kansas
exact
City,
opposite of what I'm
huh?
saying. I'm saying the Chargers had
Yeah.
zero chance of winning the AFC West. You get 3% chance of winning the
No,
AFC
they
West.
they had a better chance of anybody. They were the ones roaring in the end.
I mean,
And we're not going to sit here and act like we both didn't think Indianapolis was going to be the team to beat in the South because they really should have been. They had a quarterback situation. They just crumbled under the pressure. So let's not act like the South ain't feasible. They got three good teams. The only team in question in the South is the Texans. And maybe they make a comeback after they get their quarterback.
no, no.
You
The
know.
whole look, the Texans trash. The uh, the Jaguars not very good.
Not very
Titans,
good. They're the
no.
kings of the South. They
Well,
have the prince of the AFC. The guy who beats the guy that you're Trevor Lawrence made it to the playoffs. His very well, okay, we're not calling this his very first year. We're counting the Urban Meyer year. So year two, Trevor Lawrence, and look at year two, Justin Herbert. Was Justin Herbert in the playoffs? No.
no.
Does Justin Herbert have better skilled players and a better team than in Jacksonville?
Yes.
So doesn't that go to show you the talent that Trevor Lawrence has to elevate those bums around him to go and win a division that clearly belonged to Tennessee, who had the better quarterback, running back combo, better skill player. Colts, better quarterback,
Cold.
better skill players on paper. They didn't.
No, no,
You-
no,
uh,
not on paper. Not Matt
oh,
Ryan.
what? Matt
Not Matt
Ryan
Ryan.
coming
Not
into
Matty
this
Ice.
season, you didn't think that Matty Ice wasn't the best
Mm.
quarterback in the AFC South? Because we'll have to rewind the tape on that.
We might have to rewind the tape because I don't think I picked. I think I went. I'm pretty sure I went Tennessee.
Maybe. But I know this for a fact that the Jacksonville Jaguars will continue to win the AFC South for the foreseeable future. They have a competent coach. They have the best coach in the AFC South, first and foremost.
You went in. You won the Special Olympics. Congratulations. Like
He
you're
won a
gonna be
Super
in the
Bowl.
playoffs. You're gonna be in the playoffs
He's
because
won a
you're.
Super Bowl.
Who? Trevor Lawrence is not one.
I
No.
said, I'm talking about their coach. I said they
Oh,
have a competent
yeah.
coach.
Well, that's the whole reason why they won the game versus Justin Herbert. Because Staley couldn't do the.
They
He
couldn't
couldn't get
score in the second half.
the data sets
Herb,
to
remember what you said?
realize all you gotta
Herbert
do
thought,
is run the
no,
ball.
no,
All you
because
gotta do
remember
is
you
run the
said
ball. They
Herbert
win
thought
that
the
game.
game was over. Remember,
It
Herbert forgot.
was.
Right,
I did
Herbert forgot.
too.
He forgot
Herbert
to play.
wasn't the only one.
He
You
forgot.
remember me
He
messaging
forgot.
you?
I know you
I
did.
messaged you to talk trash.
I know. And what happened?
It was the
The
worst.
the prince.
I should have waited 5 more minutes,
The prince.
folks.
Right. The
If I
prince
would have
said,
waited,
"Bring out the executioner," and they took Justin Herbert to the chopping block, and we seen his head roll like Mel Gibson in Braveheart.
if I would have waited 5 more minutes to talk trash,
Ooh,
we would
like
not.
I said,
We
and
wouldn't even have had this conversation. It would
I
be
know
such. If Justin Herbert did not lose that game, this would not even be a debate.
it wouldn't
That
be.
is how big of a gap there is in
And
quarterback
no,
play
it's not.
between
The
these
only
two.
reason why anybody could say there's any kind of gap is because Trevor Lawrence ain't played as long as Justin Herbert. and it's already sad that he's the clear cut better quarterback.
I mean, I've just watched both
Let
of them
the
play. I've seen him
right
tough it out. I've
head to
seen
head.
I've
Hey,
seen
hey,
Justin Herbert put
how many
on his
times
bootstraps.
Herbert beat Trevor Lawrence?
I don't,
Huh?
I
He
don't think
huh?
he.
He I
Uh,
don't think he had. How many times did Trevor Lawrence beat Justin Herbert though?
oh wait, what's a when
How
did
many
this
times? How many
when,
times,
when did
Mr. Casey?
when did becoming beating Justin Herbert or
When you brought
beating
him up
Trevor
about
Lawrence
when you
become a
brought
bragging right? That's not
because
what we
they're
brag
the
about
creme they're the
around here.
creme de la creme of the
When have you
AFC.
said, boy, that boy is able to beat Herbert, he must be good? That ain't nothing you ever said. Just like I ain't never said, well, he done beat Trevor Lawrence. You know, that's a quality quarterback.
I
That's
said
not
that
what we
when
judge
I
it on.
said that when Patrick Mahomes beat Trevor Lawrence, I said the king continues to rule.
Yeah, because the test for greatness isn't Trevor Lawrence.
That was
It
a
isn't
quality.
Justin
What do you
Herbert.
mean? That
It's if you can manage to beat the MV Pat. If you ain't got one of these on your resume, what are you talking about? You are not a
talking
legitimate
about
top five quarterback.
winning in the
You
playoffs.
cannot be a top five quarterback if you cannot go toe to toe with Mahomes. Trevor Lawrence not only has not gone toe to toe with Mahomes, he will never, ever beat Pat Mahomes. And I
Yeah,
put
that's a stretch.
that
That's a
never,
stretch. You want to know why it's
never.
a stretch?
I'm writing
Because
this bold prediction, and that ain't even bold. I need to get
ooh,
bold with it, and that ain't even it. Like
as
that's
much as I hope you're right, just for my general sake of fandom,
right.
I'll
You
agree
can't
with
even
you off general purpose. Yes, I do
right.
hope that's the case, but I live in reality. And if Justin Herbert, that bum, can beat Patrick Mahomes, I'm sure Trevor Lawrence can eke out a win at some point in time within the next 10 years.
Mm. Do me a favor.
I
Remind
will.
me what's the state that you're in has a little saying, right?
Uh
What
huh.
what's that saying for the state of Missouri?
Oh, yeah, it's the show me state.
This is show me
Mhm.
state. And I ain't never seen Trevor Lawrence ever show me nothing that suggested he's beating MV Pat.
Well,
And we don't walk
luckily,
shit.
this isn't a Trevor Lawrence versus Pat Mahomes conversation.
It's
We're
not.
talking about Justin Herbert, and he ain't never beat Pat in the play. Oh, he never even
No
seen
playoffs.
Pat in the playoffs, huh?
Mm-mm. Nope.
But I guess Trevor Lawrence
Nope.
did,
Pat
which
Mahomes doesn't
which
play in the first round. So
I guess the prince went to talk to the king to see if it was his time to rise before the king told him, "Not yet, my child. Let father do it."
mm,
Patrick Mahomes
mm,
he anointed Trevor Lawrence. That's why he's the prince. What are we talking
mm.
about? The best collegiate quarterback ever. Not only carrying a team, it's Jacksonville. They were in the playoffs.
I mean,
And they beat your precious Chargers.
the Chargers were the playoffs. When's the last time you said something like that? Wasn't with old Philly. Old
Yeah,
Philly,
well, Philip got up there a few times.
a long time, 10 years ago. Philip Rivers
Maybe.
ain't.
I don't know.
Yeah, Philip
Maybe.
Rivers ain't. He ain't think about it because it went from the Chiefs making the playoffs every year, and before that it was the Broncos. So like they've been
Hmm.
wild
The
card
Chargers
Freddie
probably sneaked in, yeah, here and
once or
there,
twice,
eking in,
somewhere in there.
yeah.
I'm
But
sure we.
that's cool. But you're making my point even deeper. When has
I'm
Jacksonville
I'm just
not
telling you,
only been to the playoffs but won a playoff game?
Herbert's doing some lifting, getting them there. You know that's hard to do in this AFC
Lord,
West.
Trevor Lawrence, if Justin Herbert's doing some lifting with that team that they got, they Justin Herbert, if he like I said, if he's doing lifting what they got, my boy Trevor Lawrence must be setting a world record for deadlift because he
Mm.
carried them dudes from obscurity and took them on a win streak and got
Um,
them right into the playoffs.
I think that's actually a little more evident that it was a coaching, the elite job that Doug
Do you,
Peterson's been doing out there in Jacksonville.
Trevor
He's
Lawrence
out here
numbers
just
at the
coming up
end
with the most elite, complex game plans to to scheme wins for Trevor Lawrence. Like he's like,
scheming wins.
yeah, look at him. Look,
I mean,
look what happened against the
that's the
Chargers. He
point of
got blown
coaching.
out and then said, you know what? I got to wipe this all away. Trevor Lawrence can't carry this formula like I wanted him to. Let me mix up a different batch and give him a different formula and try to see if this one work. And Dougie P did it again. He done did
And
it again.
so how should I not tear apart these Chargers with everything that you just said, but putting it into relevancy on their end from being up 27-0 to completely collapsing?
To completely 27 to just lose 33-30.
Because so I
Uh,
mean, so how so what
33-30.
so I
Uh,
mean, so you
27.
let them score 33 point. You almost want to say 33 unanswered at that point because it was damn near 33 unanswered. It
It's
probably
30.
was 33 unanswered,
No,
and
it's
then the
33
Chargers
to
was trying to
3.
get back into it at the end.
Yeah, it was a 33. It was a 33-3 run, which is
How do you get 30 balled in the second half?
um,
Stop playing, man.
your coach doesn't put together the right formula.
No, Justin
You
Herbert
don't have
ran
Dougie
out of
P.
gas. He gave everything he had in the first half, and he fizzled on out. The
Mm.
moment got too big when Trevor Lawrence and they started driving and scoring. The moment became too big for him, just like we've seen plenty of times. That's why, and I'll go on record to say, the Los Angeles Chargers will not go to the playoffs next year. They won't be a wild card team. They're not going to win the West,
Well, they're not winning the West. I'm not going that far, but
and they're not going to be a wild card.
I think they've got real contention. You got
They don't.
Justin Herbert back there. Uh,
Not if your precious Browns and all these other teams you expect them to make rise in the way you think they gonna rise. You
soon
think
to
the
be the
Chargers got
highest,
enough?
soon to be the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Justin Herbert.
Never. They will never do it.
Mm,
Never. If they do that,
mm.
they're shooting themselves in the foot.
I'm not saying it's the right decision, but I'm not
It
saying it's the
won't.
wrong
It
one.
won't happen.
You got to pay the man.
They're not gonna pay him more than Aaron Rodgers.
We'll see. We'll see. He's a gunslinger. He's got a resume
He's a
that
loser.
he didn't lose to Pat Mahomes twice.
He didn't win a
Well,
playoff game
he's
either.
actually
He
actually
lost. He
let me
lost to Trevor
rephrase that.
Lawrence twice.
He's lost to Mahomes more than twice, but there
Exactly.
was 2 times that he didn't.
Right, and there was two times that he couldn't beat Trevor Lawrence either. One of them was in the playoffs. And if you're such the elite guy, and you forgot that you were even playing in the second half, like I said, you're already not competent. You forgot you was even playing.
Mm.
I mean, so
Well, you know what we got to do? We got to leave it up to these fans.
gotta
Well,
do it.
just to give a quick recap of last week's was Larry Johnson versus Priest Holmes. Um,
Priest.
I did get some votes online for Larry Johnson. I was not completely skunked, um, but somehow, some way,
It's the priest.
Priest Holmes was the
Bishop Holmes. Come
overwhelming
overwhelming.
overwhelming favorite. We did have a bunch of people that were confused about the rules and kept mentioning Jamal Charles.
We're
It
not
was
talking about
not,
the GOAT.
yeah, it was not a Jamal Charles versus Priest Holmes debate. It was, in fact, a Larry Johnson versus Priest Holmes
And
debate.
that just
And
shows you how the kingdom even forgets Larry Johnson was even here. He's minuscule, bottom of the line. He's I wouldn't even put him. He's probably number 6 on our all-time running backs list, maybe,
I would have him
maybe.
higher than that with that couple 1,700-yard seasons, something that Priest Holmes
Ah,
has never done. But this isn't that debate. I've
man,
already lost
isn't
it.
it right? Because
Um,
we already know Larry Johnson
bad,
never set
bad.
any NFL records. So
Yeah, it was maybe I don't know. I should take that rude comment back. He's changed his life. He's a God-fearing man now, so I'll leave Larry
CTE do that
Johnson
for you.
alone. Uh, but yeah, let us know in the comments who you're taking. If you're starting a franchise next year, or you get an expansion franchise, you get any quarterback you want that's not Pat Mahomes. Are you taking Justin Herbert? or are you taking Trevor Lawrence? Do you want the guy that can beat Pat Mahomes, or do you want the guy that can beat Justin Herbert? It's up to you. Um, let
And
us
just
know in the
remember,
comments.
only one of those guys won a playoff game.
Mm,
So, do you want a
a
guy who can,
playoff game.
do you want a guy who can win in the playoffs and then lose to Pat Mahomes like everybody else does, or a guy who can't even get to Pat Mahomes in the playoffs?
That's the question we're asking, folks. You let us know. You let us know in the comments,
Ooh.
and we appreciate you tuning into this versus battle featuring Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence.